seems like in Europe there is a lot of action going on as well. Suijie, I know you were analyzing some of the games from the European Challenger Series this week. Talk to me about the teams to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely Lemon and Lime is going to come back on top along with Late Corbuz. But we also saw a lot of teams show up, like Team Queso looked pretty strong. They have a huge fan base, right, from the Clash Royale mobile esports scene, so it's great to see them have a team competing and being successful. But I think EU is going to play out very interesting, but I think Lemon and Lime and Rising, sorry, not Rising Ones, but Late Corbars are going to be the two top teams along with Now Esports coming through, as they all made it through the first round.
Yeah, they do seem pretty strong. All right, that wraps up our Challenger pre-show. Let's get the main show underway, and let's start by looking at the season schedule, just in case you guys don't know how things are going to be developing for the rest of the season. We have 7 weeks total of Vainglory 8 play. We are on the 5th week right now, and we're going to be wrapping it up soon. This is the first week of the second split. We've also had our first challenge battle already, which is how these teams got promoted into Vainglory 8. After the end of the second split, there will be a second challenge battle, and teams will be able to drop back down to the Challenger Series and vice versa. But notably, the teams who do get promoted from challenge battles cannot go to the Unified Championship. Unified Championship, of course, happening in London between May 19th and 21st at the O2. It's the home of Fnatic. They will be hosting the event. And if you guys want to pick up some tickets, if you're in the area, head on over to Eventbrite and use the code VG8 for a discount.
You don't have to be in the area, though. If you want to travel over there, you can. More than welcome.
If you're
go
going
ahead
to be
and
in
use
the
that
area
discount code as well.
at the time of the event.
And happy Easter, guys. It's a great Easter gift, you know, if you're thinking about that.
For sure. All right, you know what else we got to look at, though? We got to look at the standings, because this is how we determine who makes it to those championships. The top 6 teams from each region will be making their way to London. You can see here that in Europe, at least, things are very close at the top. We've got 21, 20, 20, and 18. But notably, Cyclone cannot pick up any more points this week, so Fnatic can maybe close that gap a little bit down from 13.
Yeah, and it's not so much about closing the gap that they want. Obviously, they would like to finish as highly as possible, but it's more about increasing the gap over the teams that are below them so that they can try and guarantee themselves a spot at the Unified Championship.
Absolutely, and let's have a look at the schedule to see what teams they need to go through to make that happen. SK Gaming versus Team Secret is up first for Europe today, and then we have G2 Esports versus Fnatic. Following that, we'll be broadcasting the finals with the third place match happening off-stream. VODs available later on today. Suijie, out of these two semifinals, it's pretty hard for me to pick which one I'm most excited about. I don't know about you.
Oh my god, both these semifinals are going to be amazing to watch. But for me personally, it's going to be Fnatic versus G2, because G2 is such an amazing team, and Fnatic has a lot to prove. And they've improved so much, and they want to improve their point distance. On top of that, they're also a boot camp. So let's see if they can show G2 a thing or two.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see here the brackets. We had Team Secret and SK Gaming make it to day 2 from Group A, with Fnatic and G2 Esports coming out of Group B, which does mean that we could see a lot of these rematches in the finals. All these top 4 teams have fought on day 2 a number of times at this point. You know, we have seen really a huge prevalence of them in day 2 matchups so far. I'm very excited to see who's actually going to make it to the finals today, because it has been a little bit back and forth. But our first matchup, our first semifinals, it is going to be SK Gaming versus Team Secret. Now, SK Gaming and Team Secret, of course, have both got players that were on the former Team Secret rosters. But in Team Secret's case, they're actually a coach right now. Mowgli is in the coaching position, not on the starting lineup. Let's have a look at SK Gaming's roster first. So we've got Jetpacks, Kavalifar, Tyras, Raph, and Bayou.
And this is a team that they stuck together after the first split. They've been really performing very well. One of the few teams that sort of shakes up the meta a little bit. You know, having the strong melee laners that not a lot of teams are running, but Kavalifar is so well known for. And of course, Tyra's, you know, pretty much rookie of the season thus far for all of us, I think. And he's been performing so unbelievably well, especially with picks like Samuel, where not a lot of other people are performing well with.
Yeah, and similarly to that, right, you got to talk about Kavalifar really stepping up on the side of SK. He's been picking up a lot of melee bruisers, right, Suijie?
Yeah, and he's been doing great. I mean, the lane Lance, man, he performs that hero so well with the early game aggression. He's amazing on Rona, forcing teams to ban Rona against him, and he can just play Blackfeather so well as well. So he's very flexible. I would love to see them get a really strong pick for Cavalifar and then allow Tyrus to really carry Net Samuel.
It's really cool to see how SK Gaming kind of plays their own game a lot of the time. They've been doing things like that jungle scarf that we haven't really seen much from other people. The lane lance, similar kind of thing. They're a very innovative team. They're going to be going up against Team Secret in this first semifinals. So we've got Justman, 00, Tricky, I'm the Doom, Mowgli, and Leon.
And of course, Tricky right now is not starting this week. It is Leon that is subbing in for him for at least this week. We'll see, if this is something they're going to be shaking up with, or are they going to be just sticking to? Obviously, they released Tricky as their starter in their lineup. Like, that's the roster they provided. So we expect to see Tricky back in that starting lineup very soon.
Absolutely. And Team Secret, this is a team that's definitely a little bit more bread and butter than SK, but man, they're delicious butter.
Yeah, and see if they aren't going to play Leon, is I'm the Doom going to take the spot or Tricky going to take the spot? Because Leon makes such a huge impact on this team, whether he's in jungle or lane. You guys saw yesterday, his Adagio was just amazing. And then their ban draft strategy is pretty smart. They always ban the Fortress and then get a healer like Adagio. And they excel on Taka too. So SK needs to think about their draft here because they lost to Team Secret 2 weeks ago in the finals because Leon was on Taka twice.
Yeah, I'm the Doom was just such a big pickup for this team between splits. It was a player that wasn't really able to shine on his former team. And now all of a sudden with Team Secret, like, he looked very, very strong yesterday. We talked about the fact that in solo queue, he's up in the top 3 for all of Europe. And it finally, like, maybe this is his opportunity to shine.
Yeah, I have to agree, right? I'm the Doom is really the big show up for me as of yesterday. It's a question of whether he can keep that ball rolling. I mean, you got to expect Leon to show up. You don't necessarily know what's going to happen when you pick up a new player. SK Gaming versus Team Secret. We're into the draft for game number 1. Kestrel is the first ban on A side, answered by Fortress.
As predicted, they usually tend to ban Fortress, and that's going to keep the healers very viable. So either SK will probably take Adagio here over Lyra, I believe, because I think both teams do prefer Adagio. I guess, okay, they're going to take the Lance because they can flex the Lance as a lane Lance or not. I think Team Secret here will probably take Adagio, most likely here, and then either, or they might take Glaive and then ban, oh, they're going to take Finn instead to counter the Lance directly. So this is actually a really, really cool and interesting draft coming out of Team Secret here.
Where do you go from here, though? Because now you've got to worry about the fact that you've maybe picked your captain quite early. There are a lot of powerful picks left on the board. You've got to maybe make an impactful ban and pick that takes away from SK as much as it sets you up for success, right?
Yeah, I think they need to now ban things that synergize with Lance really well, like early aggressive junglers, like, for example, Alpha could work with Lance pretty well, but it's interesting that they ban Alpha because I feel like she isn't successful in a lot of the matches because she's, people know how to play against her. So the Alpha ban is very interesting, and I haven't seen Cavalifar even play Alpha at all. So this is a very interesting ban coming out.
I like how you immediately assume it's Cavalifar, not Tyrus.
We have seen one lane Alpha, I believe, but overall Alpha in Vainglory 8 does have a fairly low win rate. I believe it's somewhere in like the 30% area, so it hasn't really been able to perform the way a lot of people have thought. But the Samuel being banned away here by SK is fairly surprising because that is one of their most played heroes, and it's not played very much at all by the side of Secret.
Yeah, I think Secret might take Adagio here, but then again, their lineup has changed, right? Because Tricky, they don't take Vox if it's Tricky, or Gwen, because Tricky likes the weapon power carries in lane. So let's see what Team Secret is going to decide here.
Yeah, it's interesting that Team Secret is going in such a strange direction immediately with the draft. Sweet
Actually, I think Leon is playing with I'm the Doom and Justman. So if it's Leon, then I think it's going to be Adagio most likely here. Let's see what they decide.
Yeah, this was the lineup that they used yesterday. Like they kind of said this is going to be their lineup for this week. Not sure if it's Tricky's unavailable or what the situation is there, but yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm seeing that there's maybe a bit of an issue in the draft. We'll try and get that sorted out. The lock-in, just in case you guys are wondering, they had to declare it, of course, because the draft needed to go on during the time frame, is going to be a Vox. So that's a Vox with
Vox.
the Finn. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it makes sense because SK, again, they draft really smart. Taking Lance means that because Lance counters weapon power melees pretty well. So the fact that they take the Lance, they can either flex to the lane Lance, or they can give Kavalivar a really strong weapon power melee range, or melee laner, so that they don't have so that Lance isn't like a hard counter. But Finn is decent into weapon melee laners, except for maybe Blackfeather because he's pretty mobile. So we'll see, you know, what SK is going to draft once they know that Vox has been picked.
What's really surprising to me is that both Lyra and Adagio have been untouched thus far. And throughout, obviously, you know, we're on a different patch here in split number 2, but in split number 1, Lyra was the most played hero for SK, and Secret had Adagio as their most played hero. So the two teams' most played heroes are now untouched. It just kind of shows like how
Things
differently
change on a new update.
teams view these, but it's
Yeah.
weird because both of those healers are still so strong.
And I was looking at EU and NA drafts and analyzing it. A lot of teams, even like Cloud9, have let double heal go through completely. Like, they are not playing double heal.
Yesterday we saw the first time ever
Yeah.
in Vainglory 8 that Adagio got through the draft, and it happened multiple times. So a lot of priority has been taken off of those two heroes already.
Yeah, so I think double heal might make it through this draft and not even get played or picked, which is very interesting.
It would be hard for it to get picked, right? It would have to be a jungle Lance with Adagio lane and Lyra captain, right? That's the only way it would work. You wouldn't put Lyra and Adagio on the team with the Finn, I'm guessing.
But a tanky weapon power Lance with an Adagio lane and double heal, that's not bad at all, though.
That seems like it's kind of it's also the style of SK, right? Because
Right.
if you look at their comps, sometimes they go for like the Rona with a healer and something else tanky to back it up, and they have like these bruisery team compositions that want to skirmish a lot, that want to sustain through these fights. So it does seem like something SK would play. The question is, if everyone's letting it through, is it really good enough at the moment? And it's hard to tell because we don't have a sample size to look at.
Right, that's also highly unlikely because I don't think Tyrese plays weapon power Lance jungle, and I haven't seen Kavalivar at least do lane Adagio. So
He has historically done it. I remember, though, that he has always preferred other things.
right.
So, yeah, it makes sense that maybe they'd not put as much priority on it. That's one of the things about the update right now, right? Like, it's one of the most diverse in terms of hero possibilities updates we've had. I think last update was similar. You know, we saw every single pick, except for in Europe we didn't see Flick.
Yeah.
Right? So,
But every single hero has been played in Vainglory 8. All but one hero has a win in Vainglory 8.
what's the one hero?
Poor Grumpjaw. Grumpjaw's been played 7 times, hasn't been able to find a win yet.
Yeah, and he's like, guys, when Lance first came out, Lance had a horrible win rate. No one knew how Lance worked until somebody figured it out, and then he became meta.
Yeah.
And I feel like Grumpjaw's in that same unfortunate spot right now because he is really strong. I mean, you look at his kit, he does a lot of damage as CP or weapon. As a weapon carry, he has some of the most powerful early game right now in the game.
Speaking of unfortunate spots, by the way, guys, we're currently in the middle of a draft. It is going on behind the scenes as far as I'm aware, but we are having to deal with a few technical issues. So we'll get back in the draft as soon as we possibly can. I'll keep talking about it for the time being. What we know so far is that SK currently has a Lance locked in, and their opponent's Team Secret currently have Finn and Vox as their selections. Bans, I believe, were Kestrel, Fortress, Alpha, and Samuel. I got
Good
it
job.
all.
I'm impressed.
And our preview is just me, so I'm not cheating at all, I promise.
He's not. We can actually attest to that. And trust me, I would call him out if he was.
Bacon would totally call me out.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to pay a lot of attention to is SK's itemization because they're really good at itemizing defense efficiently. So they will rush that tier 1, tier 2 armor, and then they'll get the tier 2 armor shield, and then they'll start looking for fights. And that's what SK is really good at, and they always put it on like Kavalivar or someone that's going to go deep and then let like Tyrese, Squishy Samuel kind of hit from behind. So I think they're going to draft the same way. They want someone that's going to be able in your face into Team Secret's composition and then let Tyrese kind of carry from behind.
All right, we're back in the draft, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delay. SK Gaming needs quickly to answer the Vox pickup here from Team Secret. I think we're giving them a bit of leeway because it was Team Secret, I think, that lagged out. We will have to look into that a little bit later on. But regardless, all is well. SK Gaming, what would you pick up with the Lance here? I know we've sort of been spitballing a little bit, but let's talk about options.
Yeah, I think they're going to take a range carry in lane because melee is not good into Vox and Finn. They're such a strong duo together, and they have lost. If they pick Blackfeather into a Vox, they have lost against a Vox because when Vox gets to his late game, he is better than Blackfeather. He's so mobile and dishes out so much damage. So I doubt they're going to play a... Oh, they're going to lane the Lance with the support ladder here. They might do... Oh, and Tyrese on Scarf. So that's something that Tyrese plays really well on Scarf. He likes stacking up the breaking point and then just ulting. However, Finn has a stun, so they can shut down the Scarf if they do this properly.
So it's interesting, right? Because yes, you can stun the Scarf, and that's a big impact. But at the same time, in terms of things that can like deal good damage to a Finn, Scarf's got to be up there, right? Like he's got percentage health, burn damage. He's got a lot of range. You have to just pull the trigger on your hook in order to really start these fights off. Now, Petal, the last pick for Team Secret.
I don't like Petal. Scarf is actually very successful against Petal, especially once Scarf gets to the late game. It just deletes the minions with the Spitfire and the ultimate. It does very well against Petal. And Petal is very squishy. She has pretty low base health, all levels.
Bacon, what are your thoughts on these compositions?
I really like the Scarf coming out with the Lance and Lyra. I mentioned SK. They've played a lot of Lyra through Split 1, so they obviously very much know this hero. They paired it with the Rona mostly in Split 1, so we're not getting that, unfortunately. But I kind of expect it to now be the lane Lance with a jungle Scarf, because that's just what they have been doing. And they're, again, one of the only teams that plays this sort of composition so incredibly well.
Yeah, I was having a quick peek over at our preview monitor to see who's playing what. It is going to be the lane Lance. He did have, potentially just to troll us, the captain icon selected. So maybe he's like, all right, it's just Scarf carrying. I'm just going to go kind of tanky. We'll see. Would that be even a good plan?
I think SK is going to take this. Like I said, they always pick a melee person and go in, right, and then let Tyrese carry from the back line. And they love drafting that composition, and they got what they wanted.
Yeah, I think that Team Secret may have trouble getting onto that back line, getting onto the Scarf. So because of that, I think Tyrese is going to be able to just have the damage to carry.
All right, well, we're on to the Halcyon Fold for our first game of day number 2 of the first week of the second split of the Vainglory 8 for spring. Let's pass it on over to Humanist and Jingye.
Oya mates, and welcome to the Halcyon Fold. We're going to be getting the players out into their positions on the map. I'm just teasing you guys. Yeah. New caster came in for the introduction there.
Yeah, it was just Dicey coming in. What's that Australian you're doing?
I don't know. It all blends together for me, honestly. We do have a little aggression out of SK right off the bat, though. I'm liking it. Jetpacks and Tyrus looking to apply some pressure here, as I'm the Doom trying to secure up his backs. And we did have K-Volifar on that Lance move right up to the lane with Leon on that Vox. And a nice little battle back and forth here. Looks like I'm the Doom's going to be able to get this the back. Justman taking quite a bit of damage, but not really a reason for SK to stick around any longer.
Nope, they were able to take 2 of the camps away, or 2 minions away there. And, well, they went back, they're able to get their own jungle, because we're not going to be seeing any counter attempts coming up from I'm the Doom and Justman. And I think Scarf actually has a very strong early game in those level 1 skirmishes, providing you can land those Spitfires, and especially if you're against someone like Justman on that Finn, who's very slow, it's not difficult for him to try and land it. So that was a good fight. They recognized it, they went for it, and they picked up 2 of the camps.
Yeah, it was very good. They got out clean as well. You could see Leon was like, nah, I'm farming team. I'm trying to carry this game, and I don't want to be have any of that business going on down there. So looks like we're going to have a little aggression up in the lane. Leon Sonic zooms backwards as Jetpacks makes his way up into the lane. Justman will as well. Now, barring any action happening here in the next minute or so, Shingy, can you talk about, as far as these compositions, our analysts broke it down a little bit. Do you prefer one of these drafts over the other?
I really like SK's draft. I'm not perhaps a big fan of having the lane Lance against a Vox. I think I would prefer to see the Scarf in lane and maybe go the more typical jungle Lance route rather than the lane. Never mind, K-Valifar is going to escape.
Never mind.
Never mind, it's all good.
Well, look at this rotation on the backside, though. SK is showing up, getting some nice damage out to I'm the Doom and Justman as well. Now, with this, they have a bit of an advantage in their health bars here. They should be able to take away the mid fairly easily. That's going to be very nice for them. I'm the Doom trampoline over the wall. My man trying to make the plays here. You're going down.
So
little dirt nap early on. And first blood for SK.
SK are making it look easy. This jungle Scarf. So I think so far in the past season, we have seen 1 Scarf in Europe. and it's been 1 loss. So this is the second Scarf we're seeing. So maybe a little bit a bit better for him. I know they've changed the cooldowns on his Spitfire in the last update, just decreased it slightly. But with this comp, with this Lance and this Lyra, we're going to be seeing a lot of peel. And depending on what build that Kivalifar goes for, I have a feeling he might be going for that Sorrowblade build, which we've not seen in a while. It could still be tensionable at this point, difficult to really pin it down exactly what he's going to be going for. But if he goes for that high burst build with that Sorrowblade, then that is a lot of frontline being provided for Tyrus.
It feels like you could make the argument for either build, honestly. I mean,
Yes.
it'd be nice to have him as a damage threat as the game continues, but I mean, if he does go for that early game kind of just major upfront damage with tension bow kind of build, it might just be buying enough time for Scarf to get into the late game where he's going to take over as the main damage source for SK. Right now, SK kind of making a rotation through the Tri-Brush as the jungle has intensified. As the jungle just got
exciting.
intense on us.
Very exciting. Well, you know, we were talking about the late game potential of Scarf there. I think you briefly touched on it. I would actually say right now, Scarf's doing a really good job against Finn. They're forcing them back every single time. Because normally, if you're in this jungle duel between Team Secret, you'd expect them to be able to fight back. But right now, they aren't really able to fight. They're just being forced to back away every single time because Tyrus is generally landing those Spitfires. And well, he's going for that broken. It looks like he's going to be going for that broken myth first. So it's going to be so easy for him to be building up those broken myth stacks before the fights. And I think when it comes to getting that gold mine or even pushing the first heart down, it's not going to be an easy task for Team Secret to try and defend against it.
No, it's not. I mean, Tyrus has really showed up this season. I think it's a strong argument that Jackson has made to say, you know, this guy's kind of like the rookie of the year so far. Everything that he's played has had a large impact. Jetpacks taking a bit of damage, forced back, but Tyrus has showed up. Quibble does come down. I'm the Doom tries to get those minions and some damage out onto Tyrus, but it's just kind of tickling them right now.
Yeah, they're just able to force them back. I think we saw Leon thinking about rotating down to help them, but just had to back away at that point. And you do have to think, if you look at the CS there, so it's actually not that big a difference right now. It's 28 from Scarf compared to I'm the Doom's 24. But I think the main thing that we're seeing from this is the jungle control that we're seeing coming out from SK, and that's just so important because I think he kind of just instilled the sense of fear in I'm the Doom and Justman because they're just a little bit too scared to approach them now. Even when they do reach their power spikes, I guess when Justman reaches level 6, that's when we want to be seeing Team Secret making a move to try and just get control back.
Yeah, it makes sense. They'll look to hit those power spikes, take advantage of it. I mean, you touched on the CS of the jungle, but you look up in the lane, Leon, a pretty significant lead here.
It is pretty significant. That is Leon, though, 65 compared to Kivalifar's 46. I think part of the reason is, we can attribute that to, is
They taking the Crystal Sentry
they're
right
taking
now?
it!
They took that
Got
right
it.
in front of their faces. I'm the Doom couldn't do anything. Impales, Kvalfar drops down, get the wall as well, get a little woohoo out of there. And SK pick up another kill along with the Crystal Sentry and potentially the mid as well. I'm not sure if they got that, but just complete success on that rotation.
Yeah, Justman, he can't escape. He's got the tier 1 boots, isn't really, and all three of them just focus on him as they did. There's not really much escape that misses Leon.
Rip.
So one thing that we're seeing in this game so far in the first 6 minutes is that SK, they're placing so much emphasis on the jungle. And normally with a Lyra roam, you'd be expecting them to be able to apply that pressure in the lane, force Leon back. And actually, they're just letting Leon do his thing, and it's all about shutting down I'm the Doom and Justman. I think that makes sense, because we've seen a lot of Petals in the past day or two, and she's had a really positive effect in the game. So if you can shut her down early, then that really is really good for SK for the late game.
Looks like we might have some action kicking off, but a sigil down. SK getting that little speed boost back into a better position. You know, Sweet J touched on it. I think it's definitely true that the Scarf will shut this Petal down in the late game, just melting through those minions. And we saw specifically in the Echo Fox versus Tribe gaming matchup in the challenge battles, Petal was a major pick for status. And Echo Fox baited them into it, picked up the Scarf, and picked up 2 wins, almost turning the series in their favor. So I think it's, you know, we're seeing right now, the Scarf definitely is a very solid answer to any competent Petal player. We'll see how it's going to play out this game, I guess.
Well, we are seeing the return of the Crystal Mages after the new update. I think before it was just principally all about that weapon laners, and now we're seeing the return of the Crystal. I think we've seen one Celeste, an odd Celeste here and there, an odd Scarf, but we've not really seen any significant impacts. I'm predicting that we will be seeing a lot more of them in the coming weeks, but Kvalfar is going in.
Yeah, Cave Oliver starting it up, but they've turned it. Cave Oliver taking a lot of damage. The Fountain's out. Cave Oliver is down. Team Secret on the chase. SK on the run. Will Leon be able to find any more damage? Sonic Zoom forward. It's landing. The Sigil's going to be coming through. A little spontaneous combustion action out of I Am the Doom, but the Crystal Sentry flexes. Team Secret don't want any of that business.
Successful team fight for them. Kivalfar went down very quickly for Lance. Part of the reason we did briefly mention this before, so Leon, his CS is just outstripping Kivalfar's 88 to 68. So I think Leon's pretty much on target for that 10 CS a minute. Kivalfar's a little bit behind, and we could say that is because he's playing a Lance. A Lance Fox matchup is not always going to be the easiest in the lane. So Leon, he has that extra damage, and Kivalfar on that Lance is quite clunky. If he misses his impale as he did, then you just put yourself in a very vulnerable position, and it's easy for the other team to capitalize on that.
It is, but you know, you can't be picking the lance and missing impales, right? Like that, it goes hand in hand. I do think that there's a little more pressure on you, but at the same time, well, there's another missed impale and some damage coming out. Cave Olifar's on the run once again. A couple breaking point stacks going down here for Leon. Able to find that kill. Actually, I'm the Doom credited with that one. Tyrus, he's gonna get chased under this turret potentially here. Bright Bull works down. Do they want to go for this? Yes, they do. Another kill of our Team Secret. They turned it up a notch here, Shingy. And they're going to go ahead and proxy farm out these lane minions on the backside, so the turret's going to be taking some damage here as this next wave comes down. Well, we'll see what they want to do. Nah, they're just going to drop down, take a half jungle rotation or something. I wanted to say, though, this is about the Lance. Now, for me personally, I actually do like the Lance Vox matchup in Lance's favor. Simply because Lance, his range with his basic attacks is so far that if Vox is within melee range, you can attack him. With the Sonic Zoom backwards, you can attack him again, just on the tip max of the range. So like, it's actually, compared to a lot of others, it's not the best for Vox. But Leon's obviously doing a very, very good job.
Very good job. It's 113 now. So there's a big 33 difference in CS between the two laners here. I think part of the issue is that I feel like the SK are not picking their fights properly. We're seeing Kivalfar being a little bit over-aggressive. He's engaging, jumping onto Team Secret, and there's no follow-up from the rest of his team either because they're not really wanting those fights. Because I feel that SK, they do really well if Tyrus gets a chance to put up those broken mistacks. He's not getting a chance. Kivalfar might just make this one make out.
Oh my goodness, dude, you gotta get under the safety of your turret there. And the Sigil keeping him alive. They're holding this fountain very long. Doing a good job thus far. See, Scarf starting to get some damage out, but they're turned it on to Tyrus. Tyrus, can you get back? Yes, he can. They want Leon. Look at these teams both trading the damage back and forth here. Team Secret look like they're going to take this as a cue to drop down, take away the mid, away from SK. That'll be a nice little regen going the way of Leon, so he can drop down to the shop and move right back up. Oh, they just snuck the turret in. Look at that.
Yeah, I love it. I was going to say, Team Secret, they've picked up the 2k gold lead. But now, it's a little bit less now, so only 1.5k, which really isn't that much of a difference. But I feel like we're beginning to see the momentum of this game change. I would definitely say in the first few minutes of the game, SK were very much in control of the jungle. I feel like they've lost that control because in the 3v3s, Kivalfar's just getting focused like this.
Oh, I'm the Doom jumping in on his little trampoline. Boing, boing. Gets the kill right there. 2-1 and 2 for I'm the Doom. Like, yo, bro, you trying to take my turret? I'm taking your turret back. It's too easy peasy for me. For Team Secret, these are the secret plays right up in your face.
And we are seeing all the plays coming out. Okay, so one thing is, I feel Kivalfar is not actually landing these impales, and as you said before, if you're going to be picking a lane lance, we should be expecting you to land those impales. And I feel like he's missing them on I'm the Doom and Leon as well, which again puts him in a vulnerable position. SK are struggling to play around this. Tyrus is being forced back. We're not really seeing that significant impact coming out from the Scarf yet, and I think we can partly explain that because it's not the late game. We should be seeing Scarf excel in the late game against that Pestle, but right now I feel like we're in the power spike of Team Secret.
We are definitely in that power spike, but you know what? I'm looking at Tyrus' items over here. His progression is pretty on point. It's that Broken Myth Frostburn right here. Like, by no means is he getting completely shut down. I think if this item progression can continue, he's going to do very well.
Yeah, he's doing really well. So there's a big difference between... So Leon's ahead compared to Kivalfar, but Tyrus is ahead compared to I'm the Doom. And one thing that I think might work is actually if we switch positions of Tyrus and Kivalfar, feed Scarf, the lane farm, and have Kivalfar rotate into the jungle. Because I feel like for the late game, you want the money going onto the Scarf, not onto the Lance.
I agree with you on that one. I'm curious to see how they decide to share their gold and net worth on the side of SK. I mean, I think it would be really cool actually to see Scarf start to take some of this lane farm. If they can just let the lane push in, get some of that farm on the Scarf, and make sure that the ambient gold's going on the Lance, it actually could probably work out for them very well. Team Secret pressuring this lane forward here. Let's see what the call is. Gonna be Scarf dropping back to the shop. He does pick up an infusion, so this is gonna be Tyrus coming out with a level infusion, level 11 infusion active right there. Swing and a miss, Just Man. It's gonna be forced to court 70 seconds down. Leon just getting that damage down where he can. Impale lands. K-Vol got the impale. Oh, I'm the Doom's getting lit up, but so is Tyrus. Tyrus is trading with Leon. Yo, Leon, do you know what you're doing, bro? Dragfire breath's gonna come out. He's melting him down. Leon holding his ground. He goes down. Leon is a god. He knows what he's doing, but it's 2 for 1 here as the rest of the Team Secret just cannot do the same amount of work. Just Man's gonna try to buy a little bit of time here. Woohoo! Comes out of the Finn. Just Man having a ball. Crystal Sentry wants in this business as well. It's like, oh, party in my jungle. Let's go, team. SK with the ace, punishing the aggression out of Team Secret.
They did, and what was really great about the fight was that we saw some peel coming out from SK, so K-Valfar was able to get the impale and I'm the Doom, take him away from the fight, and actually did a significant amount of damage, and that left Tyrus and Jetpacks free to focus on Leon, which was... Leon did really well, to be fair, against Tyrus. Like,
he did.
1v1. Yeah, he picked up the kill there on Tyrus. But that's what they need. You need to be seeing this peel coming out, especially if you have a Lance available who has that ability with the Githian Wall and the impale to peel. Those are the way that SK, that's the way that SK wants to be playing these fights. And in that instance, it worked out well. So they did get the ace. Unfortunately, they're not really going to get too much off the back of that. They're going to be able to pick up the farm from Team Secret, but in terms of gold mine and turrets, there's nothing really there.
That's the way, SK likes it. K-Vol, Jetpacks, and Tyrus. Okay, we are casting. I forgot we were live. My bad, team. Forgive me for my...
Beautiful singing.
Yes. Forgive me for my...
You know, you don't need to ask
issues.
for forgiveness at this point. It's okay.
All right, we're looking for forced accords here. It's Team Secret in a pretty good position. War Treads for Just Man. It's going to be blocked off, of course, with a perfect Crucible out of Jetpacks. We would expect no less. Just Man, how dare you throw forced accord at my man Jetpacks? SK, they're going to sit under the sigils. Leon starting to build up some breaking point stacks here, but also eating some Spitfires. We're looking for that. Oh, the Impale. The Goop's there. Dragonfire Breath. They're going to take the Arcane Passage through, but have you gone too far? This is going to be actually Atlas Pauldron applied. Atlas Pauldron doing good work. Is Leon going to go down? Who's going to go down first? Leon still alive right at the end, pushing it to the limits. Tyrus is down. Team Secret has flipped it on its head. They get the ace, and they are going to be getting a Kraken as well. And it looks like Leon just goes straight into the lane. They'll have this turret down before Kraken's even captured. Phenomenal team fight.
Phenomenal. It was actually phenomenal for SK at the very start of the fight. I felt like they did everything right up until we saw the very aggressive portal in from Jetpacks. And that just left all 3 members there right in the middle. They were eating up the Munyon damage, they were eating up the damage from Leon, who was building up his breaking stacks just very, very quickly. And I think that was very bad positioning on Tyrus's part. I'm not saying it's all on him, but he was right in the middle of all 3. As a Scarf, you have this ability to be poking at long range, and he was doing that really well before they probably went in for the fight.
Yeah.
And that just didn't happen. He doesn't have the defense to be in that position. If he had the defense, then great, go for it. But with that reflex block and with that light armor, you're not going to be doing too much.
Well, I'm no pro, that's for sure. I'm not an analyst anymore, so I'm just a meme caster, and I can say whatever I want because I'm just play-by-play. And I can just say that I feel like, honestly, from where I'm sitting, feels like Tyrus shouldn't have ulted at all. Just continue to sit back, drop those Spitfires. It was doing work. Drop your goop and stay at range. I think, like what you said, he took that Arcane Passage forward using his ultimate and really put himself in position to just get taken down very easily. Let's see how this is going to play out here, though. It's Team Secret going to go to work on this choke point turret here. And you can see Just Man just looking to get in position. He wants to land a nice forced accord here, pull them back so Leon can just start to go to work. Oh, little Sonic Zoom action with that resonance as he gets a couple attacks. It's going to be blocked off. Again, that forced accord not landing. Kraken is on the Vein Crystal turrets. We're going to get that woohoo out of Finn. You can't stun this, Finn. What are you thinking right here? I'm the Doom, Leon. They have the damage. Crystal Sentry is here as well. SK have about everything they can going for them. Kraken will be going down here now. This fight, how is it going to play out? Can SK find the kills? Just Man, you know, he's just kind of stacking up the broken myth here for Tyrus. Do they want to chase an Impale as well? Leon's going to come around the backside of this fight. He's looking for a target. Oh, no. You guys! Oh, you did not! You underestimated Leon. You can never underestimate Leon. What are you thinking right here? SK will be going down. This is going to be Team Secret taking the win, barring Jetpacks just doing something that I wouldn't understand. Well, yeah, Team Secret absolutely reading this.
great game from them. I think at the start it was definitely in SK's favor. Team Secret, they brought it back with their, I guess, their team fights. I feel like their team fights were just executed much better than SK's did. And as much as I love Kivalfar, I just feel like the lane Lance we didn't really see the full impact that it could have had. And I think that was a major factor in the middle game, because if you're trying to engage in a team fight, starting with your Lance and there's no follow-up from teammates, and you're losing objectives at the back of it, then you need to think again about your draft.
Yeah. I mean, draft-wise, I thought it was okay. I do agree with you as far as the impales. Maybe he should have just looked for some more basic attacks. Who knows, though? Like I said, just the meme caster at this point. But we do have some very qualified gentlemen back at the analyst desk to break it down for us. Guys, what do you think?
Thank you very much. All right, so I actually think that was a very interesting game on a few levels. The draft was obviously, like we said, kind of what SK wanted. Execution maybe not quite there. Also, big execution coming out of Team Secret. Let's hop straight into a replay right off the bat here. You can see what I mean. See here, a good opportunity for SK, but they go a little bit too far.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of damage onto Leon already. This ult comes out, but then he goes through the portal, and I think the portal there was a big mistake. If he's able to just stay back, if Tyrus just hangs back with that ult burning, I think they get a lot more work done. Instead, they end up in the thick of things. He's not able to get the burning onto everyone because all of a sudden he's in the middle of the team instead of facing all three. He's only getting that Dragon's Breath onto 2 targets.
And Suijay, you've talked to me before about how much you dislike it when teams fight in melee range of a Finn. If you're a Scarf, especially when you don't need to, that's got to be a big mistake.
Yeah,
right?
and we saw this yesterday too, and you cannot fight near Finn. I mean, you saw the very last fight, right? And they got 3-man quibbled by Finn. You cannot fight near Finn. You have to kite him and keep your distance.
We've got that fight actually for you guys. This is the best example of it the entire game. They go back in. Scarf starts to make his way. You're like, okay, maybe he can find the damage on Leon. Bam! Quibble.
Yeah,
one block.
Yeah, and that pretty much seals the deal there. You can see that, you can't underestimate how strong Finn is, especially when you're within close range of him. And this is why he excels against melee, because when Team Secret positioned so well, they always fought around the Finn and waited for Finn to set the play up, and then they would be aggressive. So, and plus on top of that, Finn's B, his polite company, gives his team fortified health for 3 seconds or 4 seconds if it's maxed. So it lets your team just go in uninhibited to engage the team hard.
And the other thing we have to touch on was Leon in the lane against Kivalfar. We have not seen Kivalfar be that heavily out-farmed in a long, long time. And there's one point where we looked at him, and I think Leon had like 130, while Kivalfar had about 80.
Yep.
By the end of the game, it was like 190 to 112. It was an absurd lead that Leon was able to pick up in the lane. That's just something we don't see very often against SK.
And on top of that, Team Secret had such nice rotations. They were able to rotate to lane, catch Kivalfar, kill Lance in lane, right, when they start turning it around. And then they caught Scarf under turret. Their 3-man rotations were really tight, and they knew when to be aggressive, when not. And that's when Leon got his Breaking Point Swordblade build, and they started playing really aggressive to shut down SK. So they played really, really well. And I thought SK would win this because, honestly, their draft is better into a Pedo and Finn. But if it just shows you, right? Draft is not everything, guys. It's really how you play your composition and how you play to your win condition.
And there were elements of things that SK was doing that, it was the way that you're meant to execute on the composition, right? We were talking about Petal and Scarf and the interactions there during that game. I turned to Suijay and I'm like, we don't really see Broken Myth as a first item very frequently at all anymore. So what's up with that? Why is he going for it?
Yeah, the reason why you rush Broken Myth as a jungle star, especially into a Petal, is because Scarf can stack Broken Myth stacks just by attacking the seeds or the pets. So you can actually get a lot of stacks quickly if the Petal's not careful, and then just ult and have a joyride, basically.
So, I mean, the point that I bring up with that item build is that they were set up for success. They were doing the right things conceptually, right? With maybe the exception, I think we had some discussion about like Kivalfar building a bit tankier. He did go for 2 Sour Blades, like straight up, which was very aggressive. But, I can kind of understand that too, because you want to pick someone up immediately, start snowballing these fights, instead of fighting over the course of a longer fight when you're so far behind already.
While we're on the subject of item builds, I loved the Poison Shiv coming out of Leon, especially on a Vox, because that is 1 basic attack and a Sonic Zoom, and that's a proc. Like, that's all you need. It's a single attack and an ability, and you get the mortal wounds against a Lyra. It was so strong.
All right, draft number 2 for Team Secret versus SK Gaming. Team Secret are 1 game up right now. Can they close out this series? Fortress going to be ban number 1.
Yeah, they're usually ban Fortress, so Team Secret is banning pretty predictable, honestly, and then they're going to try to take a healer like Adagio or Lyra. The Kestrel ban is interesting. Maybe I'm the Doomed or Leon plays a really good Kestrel, and they don't want to see it on the fold. So they decided to take away the Lancer instead of taking a healer, so they want to deny SK a composition that SK is really comfortable with. So they're counter drafting at this point.
Lance is so key against some of what SK typically can bring to the table anyway. Like if you pick a Rona and you try and jump in and Lance just knocks you out of there, that can be a brutal situation too.
The Adagio's going to get picked up by SK, though. So kind of interesting that no priority put on Adagio last game. This time they go for the Adagio over the Lyra, which was still available. So we'll see if that does end up being a carry or a captain. Or, you know, Tyrus likes to play these crystal-powered junglers. Maybe they even put it in the jungle.
That's possible. They could also, I mean, maybe they're going to blow us all away by banning, like, something here, and then they pick up Lyra in second
I would
rotation.
assume they're going to ban something.
They
That
better
really
not
wouldn't
ban
be much of a
Lyra. If they
surprise.
ban Lyra, I'm going to be surprised. So I think Team Secret will probably ban Lyra here unless they want to give them a double heal, and they don't have Fortress to go against a double heal.
But no one's playing double heal.
I know, but it's strong. So we will see what Team Secret will decide to do here. And I think it's going to be Lyra. If they don't, then, oh, it's a Black Feather.
Okay.
So is SK going to take that lovely Lyra here and Adagio combo?
If they do you think they pick up a Rona as the last pick just regardless?
Rona
Yeah, they
or
can pick
Kroll.
anything, honestly. Kroll,
Yeah.
Rona, someone super tanky that front lines really well, and then let Adagio just rain, damage from the back.
It's going to be really telling if SK doesn't pick double heal here. Because we're talking about it, we kind of expect it eventually to see some play, but no one's doing
Like I
it.
said, there are ways to work around it, especially, again, we talk about Poison Shift so much, but it's because we have to. It's such a good item against healers. So against a double heal, if you can then pick up something on side of Team Secret that can go Poison Shiv, it works really, really well for you. And obviously they don't have the ability to get Fortress, but they could get the Taka, which has the Mortal Wounds built in. Rona also has it, but they're going to take Rona on the side of SK. I was kind of expecting the Rona, because I don't think that they're expecting Secret to go for Lyra, which means they can still take Lyra on the last rotation if they don't grab Taka.
Yeah, but Rona is so risky here because Sky's open, and with Lance, Rona won't be able to even stick on the Sky. So if I was Team Secret, I would pick Sky into Rona because Sky counters Rona pretty well. Or Cruel, of course.
Oh,
Cruel
Cruel,
is good
yeah.
against
And
melee.
that's your Poison Shiv pick up too.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
No, that's a really good pick. Kroll, actually, I was really hoping a team would pick Kroll, because I've been sitting on this one. And it is Kroll right now has the highest win rate in all of Vainglory 8.
I'm not
I've
surprised.
been on this hero for so long, and I'm finally gets the payoff.
Yeah, Kroll is in a really good spot right now for sure. I think with the addition of the Poison Shiv, he's just in a great spot because his itemization path makes so much sense right now. It's not complicated. You just pick it up.
Yeah, Poison Shiv it's literally the perfect item for him. It gives you a little bit of damage, gives you lifesteal, gives you attack speed. The only other thing you could want more on
Oh,
a Kroll
Sky.
is some
This is...
armor or health, but yeah, Sky coming through. It's one of the lowest win rates in Vainglory 8, but as VJ said, it makes sense in this situation.
All right, so Sky and Rona, strong pickup. Petal, the last one for SK Gaming. So they're going to be having that Petal and Rona, which, I mean, it's SK. They're going to be running the Rona in lane, but how does that work out here?
The Petal is good against Kroll. It's one of the really strong counters to Kroll. You just get that Frostburn and make life miserable for Kroll trying to get onto any targets, but they still have plenty of opportunities. When Rona jumps in, you're not going to be able to slow up Kroll enough to keep him off Rona because she's going to be in his face. So it's actually going to be a really fun interactions to watch, through the early game and into the team fights.
I have a feeling these are going to be some very bloody skirmishes
Very
because
much
there's
so.
some decent sustain here, which means they're going to last a while. But there's a lot of ramp on both sides too. What is really the win condition for the Kroll Sky composition here with that Lance as well? Do they just want to sort of be aggressive? Is that how they play?
Yeah, either lock someone down with Lance and then let Sky rain for barrage on him, or they can even kite with Sky and let Crow frontline, and then Lance and Crow can just keep Sky safe.
Okay, that's a good option as well. Guys, who do you think is going to win game number 2?
Team Secret can't go against Krull.
Yeah, can't go against Crow and Sky, who counter Rona pretty hard.
All right, well, let's see if they can pull it out. We're going to be passing it back over to Humanist and Jingyi for the cast.
Hola y bienvenidos a la Halcyon Forge. Yo soy Humanisto con Xingyi, and this is going to be a
Hola.
phenomenal matchup here. Xingyi, little Crawl, little Sky, little Rona, little Petal. What's going to happen here?
Oh well, I love the draft. I love the draft coming out from SK, and I love the draft coming out from Team Secret. I feel like that's a little bit unbiased, but there's a lot of counters there for everyone. So you've got Tyrus and his minions. They'll be body blocking Leon's forward barrage fairly well. And he's probably going to be going for that Crystal Sky. The Weapon Sky does really well against a Petal, but I think in this instance we'll be seeing that Crystal Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going.
They're
They're not. They're not really
yeah, they're
doing
poking
it.
back and forth a little bit here. Doesn't look like too much. Well, actually, I'm the Doom actually getting chunked down. I'm the Doom tries to jump back in as he realizes he has made a mistake. But first blood for SK. Looks like they're going to get a second blood as well. Tyrus in there with jetpacks making it happen, Captain.
Okay, so when you've got a Cruel and you've got a Lance going into an Adagio and a Petal at level 1, you've got to question that judgment coming out, because Cruel, very typically late game hero, and especially when you're playing against Adagio, who's so fantastic in that level 1 skirmish, it's just not one that you want to be going up against. And they went for it. They've lost 2 kills. Luckily for them, Tyrus and Jetpacks didn't go in for the hard invade.
But do you think Bacon cried a little bit when he watched that? Just
Yeah,
like
salty bacon tears, just
just
sliding
salty
down,
bacon tears.
just sliding down his.
I like to
brushing
imagine
away
it was
right
just one soft, gentle tear that fell from his eye.
now.
as
And he dabbed
watched
at it
this.
with his tie.
He did. Dabbed it with his tie. He cried, "Oh why, me
Oh
oh
why,
my,
oh why.
Krull, how do you die?" SK on the chase here. Tyrus there, letting the Munions go to work. I'm the Doom's gonna jump back in. Well, Dead Man's rushing here, but a trampoline backwards. Tyrus gonna use boots as well. I'm the Doom getting kited out. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why Petal's pretty good against Krull.
This is why Petal's very good. Like, okay, so the thing about Cruel is that in a 1v1 scenario, he is just superb. He's just able to stick on to a target so effectively, and we usually see them going for Journey Boots or even a Shiver Steel. However, the issue is against going to Petal is that she's got great range, even though the range did get decreased on her basic attacks slightly. She's got that trampoline. She can always escape, and if she does get a little bit of damage, you have Jetpacks there who's healing them right back up. This is the pressure that we want to be seeing coming out from SK in the jungle in the early game, and they're doing it so well. They've picked up 3 kills, and it's looking good for it's looking good for SK in the jungle.
Mm-hmm. But in the lane, things are actually pretty even here. I think I've been keeping my eyes on this. K-Vol, Leon, they've been trading back and forth pretty good. It's actually Tyrus, Jetpacks. Let's get back into the jungle for a second, as we tried to talk about the lane for uno momento.
No, it's all about them. It's all about the jungle. They're like, we've had enough about us talking about Kivalfar. It's time for us to shine. Take some of the
That's right.
limelight away from them.
15 wall. Actually, Dead Man's rush over the wall. It's going to be an impale. Leon, he's got that target lock, but looks like they don't want to go to town here. It's Justman taking a lot of damage. Justman's down. 4 kills to 0 for SK early on here. Just absolutely destroying SK. Or SK destroying SK. Ugh.
They're that
SK
good.
destroying Secret. Unbelievable plays here.
Unbelievable plays indeed, and I think part of the reason, if you're looking at the draft, yeah, SK won the early game, and maybe even the late game as well, depending on how they play the composition. But I'll definitely say in the early game, there's a definite advantage going towards SK, was particularly with that Petal and that Adagio in the lane. Kivalfar, he's very tanky Rona. He is able to sustain in the lane. He doesn't need to go down and help his teammates. I feel if Leon did rotate down a little bit, and I think this is just to do with Leon's playstyle, is that he doesn't really tend to help his teammates in the jungle that much. And if he did, maybe we can see Team Secret taking back a little bit of control in the jungle.
Yo, Jetpacks just picked up a Dragonwood contract, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Also, K-Volifar had 2,600 gold to spend. What's he gonna do? He goes in here. He's gonna just pick up a bunch of items. Building in probably that Serpent's Mask right off the bat. He picks up a little armor as well. So, I mean, you talked about him being tanky. I think we're definitely gonna see that coming to light here.
Yeah, it's all about the sustain. He is able to dodge the attacks coming out from Leon. You can just see the movement speed there, slight increase. And if he does lose a bit of health, he has that barbed needle. What?
Yo, dude, Tyrus is just absolutely destroying I'm the Doom right now. I'm not quite sure It does feel like we're getting into a situation here where if we're gonna see Tyrus going down, it's gonna be off the back of him making a mistake, maybe getting a little too aggressive. And I'm not trying to jinx him here, but at this point, he's really put a pretty significant lead in his favor, where it's gonna be very hard for Kroll to get anything done.
Okay, so it's okay. If you're looking at the way the game's going so far, you'd definitely be saying yes, Tyrus and Jetpacks are doing amazing in the jungle. But if you actually look at the numbers, I'm the Doom's at 25 CS and Tyrus is 18. So even though they are taking, I guess, actual physical control over the jungle, I feel like they're not getting the minions that they're looking for whenever they're going in.
But who needs minions when you're just farming heroes?
It doesn't work like that, Humanist.
No?
No. I mean, they have decreased. So if you keep dying, you give less go to your enemies. So
that in and of itself is actually a pretty good strategy. If you think about it.
it is so if you just keep dying and dying and dying, it's okay
Yeah.
because you're still getting your farm.
You just have one meat shield that you just throw out as like an offering to them every single time. You're like, here, you can have I'm the Doom. We shall farm.
And Just Man, they're both 0 to 2 and 0, so we're obviously like sharing is caring. Let's share our deaths together.
Oh, little
That's not
Care
how this
Bear
works.
action you pulled out on us there.
I know.
Oh, Leon. He's down in the shop. Nice
Jetpacks.
Struck into a better position, but a trampoline right on in here. Gotta be careful jumping in like that. But it's Cave Volvar into the frame. Red Mist coming out, spinning and winning? I don't know. Just Man will be falling here. Cave Volvar credited with that kill. Very good job here once again out of SK taking the fight. And I mean, in a situation like this, where Petal can trampoline aggressively into a fight, things aren't going too well for you.
Well, it helps her with the crystal amplification. She's got a lot of damage. The Frostburn is helping her slow the opponents enough to help Cave Alphar stick to them as well. And it's just she's got a lot of damage, and I feel a lot of teams have struggled to deal with this Petal. Especially, I think yesterday in North America, I think States played it twice, and I feel Hammer's played Petal a few times as well. And a lot of the teams really struggled against her because she's got this incredible poke. They're unable to stick to her. And in this instance, if you're looking at the draft, I'm going to be saying, well, Team Secret, it's going to be very difficult for them to try and get onto Petal because of that trampoline.
I agree. I think, honestly, though, SK is doing everything they need to. Team Secret maybe have made some mistakes, but they have a very strong composition. And as far as what our analysts talked about with the Sky dealing with Rona, it's a nice little out of the fray there from K-Vol. This Sky is going to do work against this Rona as they get into team fights, because if Rona wants to jump forward beyond the front lines, Leon just has to kind of hang back, get a target lock, forward barrage. Burst is going to come out here trying to buy some time. It's stunned up. Tyrus is able to get back. Volvar drops down from the lane. I'm the Doom dropping low, but the fountain has come out to keep him alive. Volvar spinning with that red mist. Two-man Githian wall. Here's just spontaneous combustion as Tyrus chasing. Just Man will be going down. Do SK look for more? Do they want a Crystal Sentry? Bow Splitter as he moves forward with that increased move speed. I'm the Doom is going to eat that red mist to the face. Team Secret lose 2. They will be losing the Crystal Sentry as well. And honestly, they can just take whatever they want.
7-0. It's looking good for SK. In the team fights, I feel, just not to put it bluntly, but I feel the Krill's being a bit useless right now because he's been completely negated by this Petal. He's unable to stick to anyone. He's beginning to fall very behind. So I think about a few minutes ago, I was like, "Well, Tyrus, he's actually behind." Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's K-Ball. He knows what he's doing.
If he got impaled,
chill,
I think he
man.
died there.
Chill.
Chill, bro.
Yeah,
K-Ball's got no chill.
Yeah, he's got it. So I think last game was Leon was massively at fire on Cave Alphar. This time it's a lot more even footing here between the two laners. And you were saying earlier that you feel that Leon's going to be making things very difficult for Cave Alphar in the future. I don't know if they're going to get killed. Nope.
Yeah, I think like mid-game-ish, that's when we should see the Sky really come online, when we see this Broken Myth completed. Do you agree, disagree?
I do agree, but then I also do feel that Tyrus's minions will be body blocking some of the damage coming out from that forward barrage, which takes away some of the damage. And because Cave Alphar, he's already gone he's got a lot of ability, he's got the sustain. I feel that the Sky won't be as big an issue as you think it is.
Yeah, it's just, I hear what you're saying, but I feel devil's advocate to that one is that if the minions are body blocking for Volvar, that means Petal's going to be in a pretty vulnerable situation. And although I'm the Doom has gotten taken down repeatedly early on and invaded, he should be able to do a little bit here. I started to eat my words as I was saying that because he hasn't gotten like any farm for like 3 minutes. Remember we
No,
were
he
talking about how
hasn't.
he was doing well, but like it just completely stalled out.
Yeah, it's been 20. I think he's got 3 CS in the last 3 minutes. I think it was like 27 before, 26, 27 before. So yeah,
So he's
he's
getting some CS.
oh yeah, 1 a minute, not bad. Doing his bit for the team.
That's right.
He doesn't have very much. If you look at his items, he's not even close to getting a tier 3 damage item. Could get the Aegis now, I guess, and he's got some speed, which is better for him to run away from fights as they're doing.
Well, Tyrus feeling like he needed to trampoline up into the lane. SK just kind of flexing as 3 here. Jetpacks has been doing a very good job on this Adagio as well. I think keeping his targets alive, splashing that gift of fire, buffing up his allies, and also making that Dragon Blood contract go to work. I'm gonna try and keep my eyes on this Dragon Blood as we get into these
Ooh,
next fights
Poison
here.
Shiv.
Poison Shiv coming out.
Yeah, he just got his first item there, but still 29 CS. It's been another 2.5 minutes, I guess, another 1.5 minutes, and he just got one. Never mind. But pretty stagnant
Ooh.
coming out from
Age is
Team
picked
Secret.
up for K-Vol. Age is picked up for Jetpacks. These guys are starting to tank up.
And they need to for the late game. They definitely need to be tanking up. Tyrus, he needs that reflex block because there is still quite a lot of CC there at Team Secret. I just feel like that they haven't really found an opportunity to throw everything that they have. The Hell's Heart, never mind, they
Whoa!
got it.
From
They
the
got
Hell's
it.
Heart, trampoline right back into the death from above. Oh, that's his pedal just getting melted. First kill for Secret right there. They overstepped. Time the Doom is locked onto K-Volifar, getting those weakness stacks. K-Volifar jumps out of the fray. Jetpacks trying to get himself into a better situation. He's going to turn around, looking,
K-Volifar.
waiting for a heal. 2 seconds for the heal. Do you want to die this? No, you do not. Oh my goodness. It looked like SK were going to lose more than that. But only Tyrus going down. I mean, it's still not too nice for them, but at least it's only 1.
That is what you said, though. Oh, never mind. K-Volifar might not make it through this one.
Oh, or Willie! Look at him, he's spinning up.
Nice.
K-Volifar, he does go down. A little too bold of a play there out of K-Volifar.
Oh, too bold. Well, you said earlier, if SK were to make a mistake, it's going to be because Tyrus is a little bit too over-aggressive, and I feel that at the start of the fight, he was definitely over-aggressive. It was a clear from Hell's Heart. He had the reflex block, and he just took it right to the face. There wasn't really much. They just focused on him after the Hell's Heart. They had the impale down. There wasn't really much you could do to escape from that, even with that trampoline present.
Mistakes
But-
were made.
Yeah, mistakes were made, and I feel like SK were a bit ambitious. Yes, they do have a gold lead, but recognize when you're going to be losing your fights.
Mm-hmm. Flares are good. Did they have a flare down in that bush? They just got caught, like, without vision, right?
Yeah, vision masters.
Vision does matter.
Yeah,
Well, let's
very
see.
important.
His SK walk through their tri-brush, Jetpacks accidentally clearing out that scout trap there. Hopefully that will provoke more thoughtfulness in his rotations here as they move down. I mean, Vision's really big. You just lost the fight when you're massively ahead because you didn't have the vision. So, and then Flare's going to be coming out here. I'm the Doom looking for Tyrus. Jetpacks kind of
come
getting
on.
into position there. Will he be seeing a verse come out? Is Death from Above coming down on top of everybody? K-Volifar with the red mist. He's getting I'm the Doom low, but the Spectral Smite activation comes out. K-Vol will be able to find the kill here. They traded 2 for 1. K-Volifar jumps out, but hello, this is my serious strike. My name is Leon, and I am a Crystal Power Sky. I am here for your life. I will take my ace. This is my, I don't know.
Take
We'll let it go.
is. I mean, it was 7-0. It was 7-0. I'm the Doom's picked up another 9 CS in the past 2 minutes. Isn't this great for him? But seriously, no, he's doing a really good job. I feel like there's a bit of a blatant disregard for that Hell's Heart coming up from Tyrus. He has that reflex block. He's been hit twice by the Hell's Heart from I'm the Doom. And they're not even well hidden ones. He's standing right in front of him, throwing a sword at him, and he's not blocking it. And being stunned by that sword is just absolutely just detrimental because there is a lot of potential for follow-up with the Death from Above and also the Impale, and he's getting hit by that. So, positioning-wise, a little bit more cautious, and maybe just let Jetpacks take it or something, I don't know.
Little John Madden action there is choking my words. What are you doing? Fighting right next to the wall against the Lance. Like, they got like 3-man Githian walled, I'm pretty sure there, after that original stun hit. Now I can see why Jetpacks wants to get like right underneath the pedal so he can maybe like splash gift of fire, let out a verse, but they got caught with the Githian wall into the Death from Above. Like, it was gnarly. They cannot allow that to happen. Right here,
Oh,
we're gonna
no.
have another fight breaking out. This is gonna be Volafar on the front side. Verse is going to come out. Justman looking for the stun. Justman fighting right under that death from above. As I'm the Doom dropping low. It's gonna be the trampoline forward from Tyrus. They've lost Volafar. Now SK are on the run once again. Leon with boots forward. Can he get that target lock? Oh, those seeds are so good. Suri strike forward and get deleted. Leon has come unleashed here in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game. Absolutely just turning it up.
Yeah, I feel SK definitely got poked in too much by Leon before they even went for the fight. I think Alpha was about 2/3 health. Yes, he does have the Serpent's Mask, but Team Secret really took advantage of that fight. And they just ran with it. Leon's doing so much damage right now. He doesn't have that much defense. He doesn't care because no one's going on top of him. Alpha, there was a moment where he was trying to jump onto Leon, but that was a bit of a misstep from his part because he actually chased away from the rest of his teammates. So his teammates had to step out of position to even get to him. But never mind, Leon is going to survive this because he is Leon.
Yeah, but also because, I mean, honestly, my opinion is any high-level CP Sky player in this game should be finding success. I'm just going back to the point in the beginning where I was devil's advocating against the idea of Petal Munions being able to body block up all that forward barrage damage. Like, you can see every time Volafar's forced to try and get on one of these targets, to try and jump in there into the fight, start spinning up, and it's so easy to just start lighting him up. And at any moment when they turn to run, boom, just Suri strike, you're back in a good position. We'll see if they can continue to do so. This looks like we might have a fight here once again. K-Vol, target locked on here. He's trying to get a good position, maybe bait Leon into a Suri strike forward. Volafar, he's getting in that corner so he can jump out of the fray over the wall, but he's going to get right back into the tri-brush. That's going to be an impale, landing onto jetpacks. They got the stun back, the full stun coming out. Volafar getting ripped apart. Man, mistakes were made on this day. Rest in peace, dear Volafar. Tyra stunned up, catching the gifting wall on the edge. Justman, phenomenal play on this Lance, and another ace in your face. Oh my goodness.
This is, I think, this is the moment for Team Secret. They've got a lot of the chain stuns. They're taking advantage of it. I think for that one again, we saw the death from above actually caught Alpha out. He had the Aegis, which is good. You can block one, but you can't block the other two from the other two heroes that were trying to stun him. And as the tankiest member, he went down so fast.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much they could do. They just took so much poke damage coming out from the forward barrage. Tyra's was a bit like, okay, I need to step a little bit behind, but I'm not really outputting the damage. So I think team fights wise, Team Secret are definitely winning every single one. And for SK to even try and come back from this, I think they need to try and just peel them away. But unfortunately, there's not that much peel on their side.
There is not a lot of peel there. Yeah, mistakes have been made back to back to back, and suddenly it does feel like SK are in an incredibly tough position here. I'm trying to sit here and theory craft a way for them back into this game. It does feel like Secret's going to have to make a mistake that SK will capitalize on. Let's see as the Kraken's going to start marching down the lane. Leon trying to connect with that forward barrage from max distance here. He does have his 3 items. He's infused up as well. Let's see, this
Leon
boost forward. Okay, SK want to get aggressive, but I'm the Doom with the From Hell's Heart landing onto Petal. Jetpack's going to try and heal up his allies and keep him alive, but that is a dead Petal, my man. I'm the Doom's healed up. He's just tanking on the front line. Volafar can't do anything. Look at it. He's barely trading even. Leon, Suri strike forward. Well, that was a bad forward barrage out of Leon. We'll pretend that never happened, Leon. Nobody's going to fault you for that one with the plays that you've had in the last couple fights. Another ace, 3rd ace in a row for Team Secret as they come through with this Kraken to be ending this game out. Just absolutely, like, once these guys came online, they never looked back.
Complete turnaround, and I think part of it was just overconfidence coming from SK, not really respecting the Hell's Heart. Yes, they were able to shut down Amdadum very effectively about mid-game, but everybody kind of forgot about Leon, and then he came into these fights, his forward barrages, his amazing death from us, just catching everyone out. And I think in the last fight in particular, the jetpacks started off the fight really well, trying to get right beside Leon, but it didn't matter because Tyrus got stunned out by the Hell's Heart, and it just felt like SK just felt very disjointed in the last, I guess, 5 or 6 team fights where they just started losing every single lead that they had.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, mistakes were made. Strong advantage. It became incredibly hard for them as time went on. Kroll really doesn't need that much to have an impact in the game. I think we saw that here. Obviously, just made space for Leon until he came online. Leon really hard carried this game. But to break it down, let's go ahead and throw it back over to Bacon and the boys.
Bit of a remix there, Humanist. I like it. Also a bit of a remix, seeing SK lose with the Rona pick. That was their first loss.
Yeah, their first time in 8 Rona games. The first time SK have lost with this hero, but it was in the draft. It just got countered so hard. Very well scouted by Team Secret.
Although SK did play their early game really well and kind of tried to snowball, once Leon got online and got his 3 items, and he was farming so well in lane, Sky just demolished. And if you guys don't know, like, Leon had Broken Myth, Frostburn, Eve. That's 225 CP with 9 stacks of Broken Myth. If you look at her stats, he does close to 2,000 damage per second with target lock. I mean, it's insane.
Insanity. Let's
Yeah.
actually have a look at a replay real quick. You can see a fight break out here. This is one of the first ones that Team Secret
The
were able
first
to
one.
win.
It's pretty much the first fight. And look at Kroll. Look at how low he is, but just keeping alive with the barrier and the lifesteal. And Leon coming online was a big deal. But for me, the other major key to the game getting turned around with Team Secret was the Poison Shiv completion. As soon as they got Poison Shiv, that was the first fight they had the Poison Shiv completed on. The first fight they won. Not a coincidence. Kroll being able to survive for that long, get those weakness stacks up, especially, again, it was a combination of him and Leon both coming online around the same time, because Leon can clear out the Munions very quickly, and that's what can stop Kroll. So it just all combined perfectly for Secret.
Yeah, and also Justman Lance, the root and then the triple Githian wall into the wall. That was brilliant play set up by him as well.
Justman had a great game. Let's have a look at the brackets now. You can see our first finalist for the week is Team Secret. They're going to be going against the winner of our next matchup, which is going to be a very, very exciting one. I cannot wait to see who's going to take this one home. They've fought a few times now in the last split, but this is their first face-off in the split number 2. It's Fnatic and G2 Esports. Guys, make sure you do not miss it. We're going to do a giveaway real quick. If you want to win some epic keys, go into the Twitch chat, type the name of the team who won our last game in all lowercase, all one word. When we're back, we're going to have our next semifinal.